Good evening and thank you for joining us. You're watching KSAT's 9 at Night. I'm your host, Stefania Jimenez. Tonight, more fallout from the mass shooting at Robb Elementary. A school district official wants the Uvalde School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo to be fired. According to the Associated Press, Uvalde CISD Superintendent is recommending that Arredondo be removed from his job. Earlier today, the school board announced that it would consider that move when it gathers for a special meeting this weekend. And this is coming nearly 2 months after the tragedy. One woman says that she still isn't satisfied.
Feels good because at least, they're getting, somewhere, they're starting with someone, but they should have done that a long time ago, a very long time ago. The only reason they're doing it is because they're feeling the heat.
Now, KSAT recently confirmed that Arredondo is getting paid while he's on administrative leave. The special school board meeting is set for this Saturday at 9 a.m. and we're going to have live coverage of it right here on KSAT.com. Today, jurors heard bombshell evidence in the trial of a man accused of using his truck to run over and kill his wife. This was the third day in the David James Estrada trial, and jurors heard a taped interrogation. In that video, Estrada told investigators that his wife should have gotten out of the way. San Antonio Police Homicide Detective Juan Espinosa says that Estrada was stuck on his story that someone else hit his wife, Dominga Pesqueda. Investigators then showed him photos of the damage to his truck and the presence of blood. Estrada admitted that he drove his truck at Pesqueda. If convicted, he faces up to 99 years in prison. Need a job? Because districts across the city are looking for new teachers and staff, and that includes Southwest ISD. That school district needs 35 teachers, and it's rolling out a new program called Grow Your Own. And what it does is allow secretary staff to work toward teaching certificates and eventually teach within the district. Southwest ISD is hoping that the program is going to help recruit enough people to fill its staffing shortages. One mom told us that she decided to go for it after what happened at Robb Elementary.
I just kind of want to be around where I can be around my kids and help other parents, just here with their kids. And the whole Uvalde situation really hit home. It made me feel like I needed to be where I can help. So that's something that really affected me, and hopefully I can be of help to others.
A lot of parents feel the same way. By the way, the teacher shortage, this is a statewide issue. Back in April, the state of Texas had 10,000 openings for teachers. Over at Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the penalty trial for the Parkland school shooter continues. One teacher who witnessed the shooting 4 years ago took the stand in court, and she described the initial gunshots that she heard down the hallway that were coming from the semi-automatic rifle. Now the jury is going to decide whether the shooter is going to get life without parole or the death penalty. 17 people were killed in that massacre. The Supreme Court, not too popular. A new poll is showing that just 38% of the country approves of the nation's highest court. And that's a new low because just a year ago, that number was at 60%. The poll, conducted by Marquette Law School, was taken after the court overturned Roe versus Wade. The same poll also found that nearly 2/3 of Americans oppose the decision to overturn Roe, while 36% favor it. Now, if you take that 36 number and you multiply it by 3, that's a lot closer to what we saw today in temperatures. So how does tomorrow look? Well, meteorologist Adam Caskey tells us.
Yeah, we had a high temperature today of 104, which was a new record by 3 degrees. And tomorrow we're likely to at least tie the record high temperature, making it up to 102. That's 79 in the morning, partly cloudy to start, then a lot of sunshine, 92 at noon, 102 the high. When you factor in the humidity, for a few hours in the afternoon, it'll feel like it's between 102 to 105. And by and large, all across our area, we're going to be in the low 100s tomorrow. Converse, New Braunfels about 102 as well. Very similar Friday through the weekend, low 100s, a lot of sunshine that lasts into next week as well. However, finally, we can introduce at least a 10% chance of a few showers by Wednesday of next week.
And we're going to take that 10%. All right, Adam. So now that you got the forecast, you're going to need places where the kids can cool down. So how about going to a splash pad? They're free.
How are you staying cool?
Anything with water, really, because that's the only way you can stay cool.
Good advice. You heard it right there. Water is the best solution to survive these triple-digit degree days. Kids suited up to enjoy the splash pad. You're looking at where they were there at the Pearl downtown. Even some parents joined in. They say that it's hard to keep kids active while they're outside in hot summers like these, so really splash pads are a really good option. And if you're wondering, well, Stefania, where can I go? Don't worry about it, because we have a list of free splash pads across our area. Just visit our website, KSAT.com. So when we talk about the heat, we're really not alone. Millions of people around the world, around the country, are dealing with unbearable temperatures. President Joe Biden announced a new executive action to address the heat wave and climate change. More than one action there. The move provides $2.3 billion for stronger infrastructure that's aimed at withstanding the effects of climate change. It also adds funding to help low-income families improve air conditioning units in their homes and also expands wind power on the U.S. coast.
We can make things better in terms of jobs. We can make things better in terms of the environment. We can make things better for families overall.
But climate change activists don't like the actions because they say they fall short and that more needs to be done to fight climate change. A Southside staple closing its doors. Do you remember Burbank High School? It's been on the South Side since 1937. But before it closes now, people are going to have the opportunity to walk its halls one last time. The school taking its place is going to be built behind the current building. One alumnus we spoke to is excited about the change.
Really, I'm optimistic about the future. I'm real glad that we have a new school for the kids here, for this community.
That's right, because we're not losing a school. They're building another one there. The Burbank building send-off is Saturday morning at 10, and if you want to go, you have to register first. We have a link for you on KSAT.com. And remember that bulldog we just showed you? Yes, that's going to go in the new school as well. That's not going anywhere. Around the world, outgoing Prime Minister Boris Johnson quoted The Terminator, like the movie, as he said farewell to the UK Parliament. All right, so let's go back here because Johnson resigned earlier this month after dozens of ministers quit his government in protest. But he's going to stay in office until his new successor is elected. But this is the last time that he's going to go before Parliament as Prime Minister because leaders are going on summer break. And listen to his final message to them.
Mission largely accomplished. For now. I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank all the wonderful staff of the House of Commons. I want to thank all my friends and colleagues. I want to thank my rival friend opposite, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank everybody here and hasta la vista, baby. Thank you.
Okay, now candidates have already gone up against each other in elections to replace Johnson, and now it's going to be up to two finalists who are going to go to a runoff vote, and the winner is going to be announced September 5th. Stick around because tonight on the Night Beat, we're talking inflation. We know this. It's affecting you. Everything is going up and it's having a bigger impact on those in need. We're going to show you how inflation is affecting the San Antonio Food Bank. Plus, the San Antonio Symphony. One group is trying to revive it, but it needs something from you. And we're going to discuss those things tonight at 10 o'clock. Now for tomorrow, there are a few community events to tell you about. The first is for seniors. Health Texas Holy Cross Clinic is giving vouchers to people 65 and older for fresh produce. It's holding an event on North General McMullen Drive from 10 to 1. And then after that, the Summer Night City Concert Series continues. You can check out live music at Legacy Park. The show is going from 7 to 9. And yes, friends, it is free. NASA getting ready to make another giant leap for mankind. The space agency announced that when it's going to launch the first test flight under its Artemis program. One goal of the Artemis missions is to eventually land the first woman and person of color on the moon. NASA says that it wants to do this by the end of August or the beginning of September. And by the way, NASA is also hoping to return American astronauts to the moon by 2025. Before we go, if you missed any part of tonight's show or you want to go back and watch previous shows, just open your phone's camera app and hover over the QR code that you see on your screen because that's going to take you directly to the 9 at Night homepage on KSAT.com. That's where you can watch everything. Or if you're on the go, you can also download the podcast version of our live streams. And we'll have to leave it right there. Thank you so much for the company. KSAT's 9 at Night returns Friday night at 9. Stay cool.